Excuse me, you. Hey, Jeff. So, I will warn you right now, Jeff. This is the most MacGyvered show you're ever going to come across. So I am doing this on the fly, and I'm on my own. So, yeah. So we're in completely new territory here. I feel like our experiences recently have maybe helped, but yes, this is going to be completely, basically off the cuff. I'm on my own, and I got in from work not that long ago, so no. Peds needs to take a bit of time off, so I said, don't worry about it, I've got it. And yeah, few people I think that were originally interested to join me today haven't been able to make it, so I was like, you know what, let's go for it. Let's do it. Let's have a go. Let's see if this works. If it's shit, it's fine. I can move on from it. But I thought, let's have a crack at this. And bearing in mind, I got nothing set up. As in, I've been in work literally all day. I've done a 14-hour shift. I haven't had time to organise the stream or anything. Yes, Peds, you are correct. I'm doing this solo. Yeah, I literally got in from work. I've dealt with the cats. I've sat down. And I'm like, right. If I was to try and mingle and get the stream together, as in the layout and everything, I'd be here for well over another hour. So I thought, you know what? Screw this. Let's go. Let's display my feed. I've got the chat on my phone. I am MacGyvering this to the next level. So we're going to give it a go. Let's see how it works. You never know. We might have a good time. We might not have a good time. But at least we've all participated in this experiment. So that is basically how things are going to go. Basically, one of the guys said he can't make it because something's run late, and honestly, nobody else got back to me. So I was like, you know what? That's fine. Let's give this a crack. Let's have a go. I'm gonna completely when I say off the cuff, I know a couple of things I want to talk about today. Some of the things that we put in the PMs. So, you know, I'm not totally off the cuff, but in terms of, I've got no layout. I am doing this as in, let's just put it together and let's give it a go. So that's basically where we are. So I will try my best to not mess with your eyes in terms of I won't get OBS up unless I have to, because that that happens. Otherwise it's it proper messes with your head. So if I full screen it especially, it's never ending. So I will avoid bringing that up unless I get stream troubles, words and things. So yes, basically the challenge for me today is, maybe this is what the episode should be called. I did exactly what I said I wouldn't do. Maybe it's just how long can Doom talk shit on his own for? That probably should be the title, because this is how it's gonna go. This is how it's gonna go. So yeah, I'll wait another minute or so, see if anyone joins, and then we shall get into it. So yes, I have made sure before I got my display capture up that no Strokomon was there to scare us. I've made sure. So, although I believe I promise I won't get anything up because I'm not getting anything banned. Yeah, as you can see in my history here, I forgot to go incognito when I looked for that the other day. So as you can see under the timeline bit by there, if somebody clicks on that, bad, and there you go, that stuff pops up that we don't need to see. Dickachu is genuinely the scariest thing I've ever seen. So yes, not good. Yes. Pokemon porn parody. Yes, it was. Thanks for joining us, by the way, Yub. As I was saying, this is basically the most MacGyvered show you're going to come across. Peds needs to take a bit of a break. That's cool. You know, he's worked hard. He's been here every episode. Can't fault him. I had a couple of guys lined up that were maybe happy to jump in, but they sadly haven't been able to do it. And I thought, you know what? Instead of not doing an episode, let's see how much crap I can talk on my own. So I've done a 14-hour shift. I finished at 10 o'clock. I got home. I've dealt with the cats. I've got no layout ready, hence why you've got screen capture, so I'll try to hide the stash of porn that's probably hanging around somewhere. So, he's just got some stuff. He needs to take a little break. He said he's going to be a couple of weeks, I think. Just needs some personal time, sort some stuff out. So, hence why Peds isn't here. That's okay. He's still got me. So. Thanks for everyone for turning up. Grum's here. Way, we got people turning up. This is good. So, if I'm boring, please let me know, because I don't want to waste anyone's time. Honestly, this is going to be a very, very MacGyvered show. I've stuck this together with like bits of like gaffer tape and stuff. There we are. There you go. I was going to say I didn't want to put Peds on the spotlight. I didn't want to say, oh yeah, speak to Peds, because that's not my place to do it. So there we go. Peds has told you the reason why he needs some time off, which is obviously perfectly understandable, and I'm sure he knows where he can get support. And as I've said to him personally, if he ever needs anything, if he needs a chat, he knows where I am. He knows where any of you guys are. I'm sure everybody will be here to support him if he requires it. I'm going to have a quick drink of water. And we are going to go on a journey. I honestly don't know how long this is going to take. It could be over in a half an hour. I might be able to go on. I don't know. But I'm going to try. So I'm going to do my best. We'll have a go. How are we all today? I am very well today. I'm a little bit tired. As I said, I got back from work at 10. But I'm pretty awake. I'm okay. It's the waking up tomorrow morning I'm not looking forward to. I'm going to the gym. I'm getting up at 5 tomorrow. Get to the gym for 5:30. So, yeah, by the time I finish this, get to bed, probably about 4-ish hours sleep I'll get. And then up to the gym I go and my day starts. So that will be a fun one. But at the moment, I'm feeling good. So, doing will last as long as his lovemaking. 1 minute, 48 seconds. Hey, that's on a good day, so that's what it's all about. 1 minute, 48 seconds, I'd take that. That's a good day, that, for me. So, can't go wrong with that. Anyway, I'm going to try and move on. I'm going to try and get the show started. So we've got some form of that includes foreplay. Of course it does. God, who do you think I am? A porn star or something? Tell you what, you could knock a minute and 40 seconds off that when Strokamon comes on. Boom, that is it. I see one image of Dickachu and boom, that is it. I'm done, all gone. So anyway, that's enough. That's enough Strokamon for one day, I think. Anyway, so hello, welcome to episode 19 of the Twitchcast. I am the Doomspoon. I am here on my own today. We're going to have a go. Let's see how this goes. Thank you everyone for tuning in. It's always a pleasure to see the regulars join. It's going to be a bit different today. Everything's going to be very off the cuff as much as I can make it. I'm going to try my best to elaborate and talk about stuff. I might end up going off on tangents just to try and beef things up a bit. All I'd ask is in the chat, I'm not saying everyone's got to put effort in. It's not about that. But if people have something to say, please say it. It means we can get a conversation going, and it just means we can keep this going for as long as you guys wanted to. The second you guys say, all right, we've had enough of you, just fuck off, I'll end it. So I won't take any offense. Anyway, so today we've got a few things to talk about. I would say one of the subjects, this is just a little warning. One subject is very political. It's the Hong Kong incident. If anyone in the chat isn't, if they don't you know, if they don't want to get involved in the politics, if they're tired of hearing about it, I understand totally. You know, politics is a very divisive thing, and me and Peds actually did discuss this, and we said that it's, you know, we thought we have to talk about it because we feel like it's almost a responsibility to at least discuss it. But we also totally understand if people are tired of hearing it, or they just don't want to know, politics isn't their thing, they don't want to get involved. We understand. Just thought I'd warn you that will be coming up. I won't get into it straight away. Let's have a nice conversation first. I'll let everybody know as we're about to move into that. Just so then if anyone wants to leave, then they've got their warning. You know, they've had the chance then. So yes. What shall we talk about first? We'll talk about Fortnite. I wasn't going to talk about Fortnite, but what I didn't realise was today was, as far as I can tell, I mean, I don't play it myself. I spent a lot of time on Twitter today. It was very quiet in work. Fortnite is finished. Like, I knew that Chapter 2 was coming, which I think they could have done better than me. Somebody on Twitter actually suggested calling it Fortnite, which I think that would have been a great idea, so they missed a chance there. But I didn't realise they were literally going to, like, I want to say kill it. They haven't killed it. But if you haven't seen it, essentially what happened, if you were playing, like, the last game of Fortnite, essentially, you'd go back into the lobby, and then, like, an error message would pop up, and your screen would start glitching out, and then basically the whole world and everything gets kind of sucked into, like, I want to say a singularity, almost like black hole-esque. It just, like, the screen's black, and then right in the middle there's just this little blue dot that everything's just been sucked into. And there was people streaming it, and it was going on for a little while. So I assume eventually they're going to rebirth it. I assume that's the point of it. It's going to be rebirthed with a brand new map. I don't know to what extent they're changing it. I don't know if it'll just be I lost track of what I was saying then. Yes. I don't know how big of a change this is. If it's just a new map, if it's full new mechanics, I doubt it. But, you know, it's obviously a landmark. What is it, 10 seasons, 11 seasons, what it is, and they've decided to essentially make a Fortnite 2. But they've kind of made a Fortnite 2 within the game of Fortnite. They haven't. It's not like a separate release, or at least it doesn't look that way. They're just kind of updating the game to then become Fortnite Chapter 2, and it's all going to kick off from there, I assume. There you go. Thanks, you. So there's a secret mini game. If anybody is able to elaborate on that in the chat, perfect. You go ahead. I'll read it out just to let everyone know, for the sake of the stream. Yeah. So, I mean, Fortnite is obviously it's I suppose it's a divisive game. And yeah, you know, it's an interesting way of doing things. They've literally, like, they've shut the game down, I guess, you know, and it's full refurb. I assume that's kind of what they're going for. So, you know, I don't know at what time it's coming back on. If it's today, if it's tomorrow, whenever. I don't keep that focused on Fortnite. But hey, you know, it will be interesting to see if this new iteration of Fortnite becomes is just as popular. I assume it will be, because it's essentially the same thing with some new assets, I assume. But, you know, only time will tell. I guess any Fortnite fans, you can look forward to a new map, new skins, new seasons. It'd be interesting. Are they going to start at season 1 again, or are they going to continue? Are they going to go, like, because what are they on? Season 10 or 11, so is it going to be 12 or whatever it is and go from there? Or are they going to go Chapter 2, Season 1 type thing? Only time will tell. Oh, hello. I have a cat joining me. Hello, Patch. What are you mooching for? I'm being interrupted by a furry friend. He wants something, although I have fed him. Do you mind moving your leg? Thank you very much. Anyway, so there's that little bit out of the way. Moving on, we shall move on to the news about Doom. Patch is telling you what his Fortnite plans. Essentially, all Patch was doing is pushing. Well, I say pushing. He was, like, parading his arse in my face, So yeah, that's a very similar reaction that I have to Fortnite in general. So we're kind of on the same page there, like pet, like owner, I guess. So that works out well. So yeah, Doom. I assume there's some. What about me? You have news. You have another wife with a kid on the way. Is that directed at me, Pet? That'd be something if that came out in the woodwork. I promise you, I don't have another wife and another kid. I have the one, and I'm happy with that at the moment. So, Doom news. Hey, you know, if I can think of some news, I'll throw some Doom news in at the end. Oh, I have news about Doom. I see. It shows you I'm a little bit tired because I was like, I just did not. I did not get the connection there, so that says it all, really, doesn't it? Anyway, Doom news. Proper the game Doom, not the legend, obviously. So, Doom Eternal, it was kind of, I guess it's slated as one of the big releases for 2019. That is the year that we're currently in. Big hype, big, lots of E3 coverage. A lot of people pre-ordered as a result. Really excited for it. And then what seems like out the blue, they've just kind of they've basically said, "Oh, sorry guys, 2020 it'll be. We're pushing it back to 2020." I'm right in saying we're a month, less than a month away from their release, and they've decided to push it back to what was it? April, I believe. I'm sure somebody in the chat will correct me if I'm wrong. Something like April 2020. It's for them to February 20th. That sounds right, I think. So yeah, for anyone I guess who hasn't played Doom yet, the 2016 revamp, then great. In Cricken's case, but I'm sure that there were a lot of very excited people, and to push it so close to its release, to push it back. So, I say so many months. If it's a February release, it's 3 months. November, December, January, February. Either 3 or 4 months, whatever it is. I'm not sure. I know the full month is up. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. But anyway, it just strikes me. It strikes me the fact that they've left it so late to tell people. Like, surely this game is being very careful. Well, I say carefully. It's being it should be very well managed. It's a big release. It's something they know they can't get wrong, and I understand the reason why they've pushed it back, because there's obviously quality control issues. They want to make sure they can deliver the game that they've promised, which I get, and there's nothing wrong with that. But to do it so late, surely they knew they weren't going to get this out on time. Maybe 2 or 3 months ago, surely they would have known. Like, you don't pay project managers hefty amounts of money to not know, like to not have an accurate reading of how long a game's going to take you. So that's the problem I've got with this. I don't know how I don't know. Is there anyone in the chat who's pre-ordered it, who was looking forward to it, and now they're feeling a bit miffed at the fact that it's been pushed back? Or is the general consensus everyone's happy to wait? Because it is, at the end of the day, if it gives you the game that you want, there's always that argument. Yes, Cricket makes a good point there. Rushed game is forever bad. A delayed game is eventually good. Yeah, that's basically the quote, and I agree. So Jeff has said he's never been really fussed about game delays, just rather have a finished product than something half-assed. Exactly. Cricken wants the raw half-assed experience. That's fine. Peds, he says he's disappointed that it's delayed, more so that it's so close to release. See, that's the problem I have here. Like, as I was saying, Old Duke Newton is obviously the exception, I guess, with being delayed 4 years. But yeah, the issue I've got here is this is Bethesda's big game. It's the one that they are basically putting most of their energy in right now. Could they have not told the fans earlier? I don't quite understand what the issue, why they left it so late. It's less than a month till their release, and they push it back like that. Like that's the main thing I got. I mean, unless it is a case of they didn't know about whatever problems they found until the very end when they thought it was done, and then they're like, oh crap, we've got to push this back. Fine, I guess you can give them a pass, but I mean, it bucks a trend, rather than rather than releasing a game that was half-assed and that they have to patch over and over again to get fixed, and then it's never really fixed because they rush in the patches, and it kind of all goes downhill from there. I guess eventually, well, here's the thing though. What if they delay it till February or whenever it is, they release it, and it's still not what the hype is? Because I think that's the issue now. Doom eternally delayed. I like it. Maybe, just maybe. Here's the thing though. If generally, I don't know about you guys, but the general thought that goes through my head when they say they're delaying it is, it kind of hypes the game up even more, because they're kind of going, well, it's not what we want at the moment, but the reason why we're delaying it is because we want to give you everything that we promised, which is a great thing to say, but surely that hypes your game up even more. I mean, which I guess in one way maybe creates more pre-orders, but that puts you under a lot of pressure. All of a sudden now you're under the cosh now. You've said, right, we're delaying it, so whatever reason they delayed it for, they better hope that they get it exactly what they've promised, because delays increase hype, because it's to make sure the game's going to be right, and everyone's expecting, okay, I don't want to say perfect game, but they're expecting it to be damn good from the word go. So if this comes out and there's glitches and there's problems, and then, do you know what I mean? I mean, will Bethesda care? They've already got your money. That will be seen. Hopefully they'll release the game, and I know Bethesda's quality control with their little glitches and that is not the greatest. I understand that, especially with Skyrim, and they had to patch it over and over again, and that's fine. But if you delay a game, you have to live up to the hype that you've promised, if that's what you're telling people you're delaying it for. Could be a double-edged blade. I guess only time will tell. Let's have a look at the chat before I say move on. I might figure out something else to say. They release it in time for the Sonic movie. Dual release, maybe that's the plan. Youb says here that maybe they realised Doom Guy's helmet has mould in it and they've got to clean it out. That's a fair bit of mould if it takes 4 months to get rid of, but yeah. Cricken's got a good point. At the end of the day, it's not we're not in a situation where people you pre-order a game, but it's not the only thing you're playing. There's so many options these days that it's quite easy to distract yourself from something being delayed. It's not like we're sitting on our thumbs now until this game comes out. I mean, I'm not going to get it on release. I'm not that bothered by it, but I have loads of other things to play, including that, I can't remember what it's called, but that new farming game that I'm desperately trying not to buy, but I probably end up will. Pet says, I was going to say that they will care because people will buy less of their stuff. Is that loads of their stuff, I assume? But then after the Elder Scrolls and Fallout games, they ain't happening with how janky they are. Yeah, it's true. We'll buy less of their stuff. Yeah. Well, I hope so. At the end of the day, if you're not happy with them, and this applies to not just Bethesda, this applies to the gaming world as a whole. If you're not happy with, or if the fans are not happy with a company, EA obviously get a lot of slack. Activision tend to get a lot. Ubisoft get a lot of slack. There's only one way you're going to change their practices, and that's by voting with your wallet. The trouble is they still have enough people to buy that game that makes them not worry too much. And at the end of the day, if if they sell 2 or 3 million, like I'm thinking big now. If they sell 2 or 3 million less than what they were expecting, but they've still sold 14, 15, 16 million of that game, whatever game, are they going to care about? Yeah, okay, they would like those 2 extra million, but will they really care? No, because they've still made a ton of money off the game. The game's in profit. The only way that you're going to get these things to change is if the game doesn't make money, and it's not. There's just not enough people. There's too many people that are still going to buy the game. That's why FIFA is so popular. That's why Call of Duty is so popular. Too many people, regardless of how much a large group of fans disagree with the way they practice, you're never going to outweigh the people that will buy it. So, what has Ped said? I don't care what I'm playing. When Doom Eternal comes out, that'll be played and everything else will be put on the back burner. Yeah, well, that's it. I guess you've got to hurt. You hurt the shareholders, you hurt the company. So, makes sense. I think the thing with this, only time's going to tell now. I want this game to turn out good for the people that are buying it. At the end of the day, they're delaying it. Let's just hope they understand that the hype that's going to create is big, and that they need to make these promises, or at least put an effort in. If there's major glitches when this game comes out, then Bethesda could be in trouble. I say in trouble, not in the terms of they're not going under or anything, but I think they could be in trouble with fans in general, and it could hurt them maybe for other games potentially. But yeah, ironically, there we go. Jeff has said he's going to go make his coffee, which he's ironically delaying. Yes, please don't spill it, Jeff. This I understand this. This conversation is so riveting that you would want to rush back, but obviously please be safe with a hot cup of coffee in your hands. After Fallout 76, I can't see them having too many issues with customers. Yeah, I mean that was pretty that hurt. That must have hurt them. The game on release absolutely bombed. Yube says, despite Bethesda's reputation, who would doubt the game? Who's going to doubt the game after? Yeah, this is true. I mean, I think in general, the 2016 Doom was a massive hit, and it still is. It's still incredibly popular. So, you're not gonna. Its reputation alone is going to be enough to carry it through, regardless of what happens. I'm just hoping that the game does produce what it's promised with this delay. The most annoying thing for me is the fact that they've delayed it so late. If this was 2 or 3 months ago, that would be a much more acceptable thing, I'd say. The fact that it's so last minute either tells me that there's some project managing that hasn't gone right, or they've somehow only discovered a big enough flaw in the game that they've had to kind of go, whoa, we need to sort this out. So, yeah, well, making it run back, maybe it was only until they started testing it once it was all together, and it was like, oh, okay, something's wrong here. We need to optimize, we need to tweak, we need to do this and that. So let's just hope that the game does come out without any further delays and it runs well. So yes. Does anyone have any further opinions on Fallout? Fallout, sorry, that's exactly what I was reading there from Peds. Well, if you've got opinions on Fallout, you carry on, you share them. But has anyone else got any other opinions on Doom Eternal? Or I think we've covered everything regarding the delay, at least anyway. On delay, I mean, the only game, and when I say I don't care about delays that much. But obviously Nintendo have delayed Animal Crossing to 2020. And I think again that was a relatively positive response. You know, at the end of the day, Nintendo came out and just said, look, we're not happy with certain parts of the games. We want to make them better. We're delaying it. But the point is, they gave a lot of notice. So I think that's where it comes in. At the end of the day, they gave notice months ago. What? I can't even remember now. Was it? I can't remember when they gave notice. It feels like ages ago. The last when they gave notice. Peds, you weren't happy about that, were you? Yeah, I was disappointed, but I like Animal Crossing, but I'll accept the fact. And again, the fact that they gave you enough time. It wasn't like a month before the release. Oh, we got to push it back. It was plenty of time. Was it at Grum? Sorry, was it? I can't remember now. Was it at E3 that they announced they're pushing it back, or was it? Did they announce it at 3? I can't remember. All the years are blurring into one at the moment. It's very difficult to keep track of my own life, never mind the gaming world. Oh, jeez. Youb says Animal Crossing fans have no violence in their hearts. That is pretty true. Unless you're pets, and then you do have violence in your hearts, apparently. Cricken says Animal Crossing fans console themselves by buying more amiibo. Quite possibly. It was likely finished. They just... Yeah, I mean... I'm not going to lie. Part of me has thought of that as well. They've got... What are the big releases Nintendo words have got this year? So, as in coming up now this quarter. I assume, well, the big one is Pokemon. You can't avoid that, can you? With Animal Crossing being... Animal Crossing is a major player for Nintendo. But Pokemon's another level. Pokemon is their system seller. That is the one that, like, shifts the most units. So, I guess even if the game's finished and they want to give it the space it deserves, and they don't want to risk what they don't want to risk, I guess, is the lack of console sales that Animal Crossing will bring. It's a game that people buy the console for, so it's different if it's a game that it's a good game but it's not going to sell so many consoles. You probably wouldn't mind bringing it out around the time that the Pokemon comes out. But what you don't want, I suppose, is people buying a Switch for Pokemon and picking up Animal Crossing at the same time. You'd rather than buy the console. You'd rather than buy the console for Pokemon, let them pick it up later on, and then the people that were going to buy it for Animal Crossing can do it then at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Like, I kind of get that. So, to be honest, Grum, I think you're onto something there. I wouldn't be surprised if the majority of the game was basically done, but they just wanted to move out the way for Pokemon. And who would blame them? Pokemon's a juggernaut. It was like Red Dead. When Red Dead came out. Last year, the year before, whenever it was. My memory is shocking. My Game of the Year nominee. Shocking behaviour, but there we are. Let's be fair, as soon as they said it's coming out on October the whatever it was, pretty much every other company that were releasing a game just then went, whoa, no. We're either releasing it earlier or later, or just get out the way. Which I can understand why they did that. It's one of those games, isn't it? Let's have a look. What's his Grum saying? We do need Grum on the podcast for the analysis. I think we would all benefit. Our lives would benefit having Grum on this podcast. Grum also says they showed it off. So it was at E3 they showed, and said something like, although it looks like it's finished, they need more time to work on, and said it'd be delayed till next year. Okay, that's fine. Ped says Pikmin 4 was meant to be finished 3 years ago, and we're still waiting. There's got to be a Pikmin game coming. The fact that we haven't had like a port or a remake or a remaster or whatever you want to call it of the first two, or a port of the third, by now probably tells me that maybe Pikmin 4 could be an E3 announcement next year. Watch this space. Let's see what happens. yeah, Cricken's with me here. Animal Crossing will sell a lot of consoles, and they don't want to risk hurting that by getting in the way of Pokemon, which is also going to sell a lot of consoles. Ped says, I've not known of anyone myself to buy a console for Animal Crossing. I guarantee there are a lot of people that would, though. And that, although you'll be getting AC and a Switch for the missus. Oh, okay, so there you go. So there's one person, I guess. So I assume, Peds, your wife loves Animal Crossing. Perfect. Just for curiosity, are you buying her a Lite, or are you getting is she getting a full fat Switch? Animal Crossing will sell a lot of animals. That's called trafficking, isn't it, Jeff? Are you? Sorry. Okay. Are we saying? Is Jeff? Are you saying Animal Crossing is low key animal trafficking? Is that what you're saying? Because you never know. You might be onto something there. He does. You're right. Grum does know how to join Discord. Although I will admit I am not currently on Discord because I'm soloing it. I thought, well, I don't need Discord. There's no point in being in Discord on my own anyway. So maybe it was a mistake. I don't know. Somebody can tell me. I'm sure Peds will tell me off if I've done it wrong. So yeah. To be fair, Grum, I'm attempting to hold an episode together completely off the cuff while talking alone. So you would really it would up the ante, and I know this would probably be our best or probably our biggest ever viewing if Grum joins. I think half of the forum would end up jumping on. They'd be like, "Holy crap, Grum's here!" So yeah. Yeah, I remember Peds mentioning that even your kids have said they don't want a crappy light. That's you've brought them up well there, Peds. I like it. Let's have a look at the chat. Jeff's legal advice. Depending on others show up. Yeah, for all I know, they're all waiting. They're like, Doom's taking a while. What's going on here? They haven't even bothered checking Twitch yet. They're like, where is everyone? And what's there be like 8 people in Discord going, where is he? Thought he said to be here at whatever time I said. Just chilling. So yes, about half a dozen people on the forum know me. That's what you think. What you don't realise, Grum, is I'm giving away trade secrets here, so I'm going to be kicked out of the cult. But there is actually a thing called the Cult of Grum on the forum. It's in a hard to find part of the forum, and it's where basically the majority of the forum are. There's a little shrine. Some of your greatest quotes ever are posted up there for spiritual guidance. There you go. Jeff's given away some secrets as well. I don't feel so bad now. There is a daily Grumcast just to update everyone on what you're doing, and you affect the lives of millions of people, and you don't even realize it, Grum. That is how legendary you are. 500 million is just Cricken. That's how much care. That's how much care Grum has, kind of radiating towards him. So, can I refresh the forum? I can if you want. Yeah, I'm probably going to be kicked out. Oh no, I'm not going to kick out. Doom smells. That's pleasant. Is this whole Twitchcast episode now just going to turn into like this? What does this say? Just ignore this. You can delete it in 10 minutes. Thanks. There you go. That's the background for the rest of this. There you go. We'll leave this here. So, shocking, absolutely shocking. I'm working my little socks off here, attempting to hold down some form of coherent conversation, and I'm getting abused. It's okay. I'll cry myself to sleep later. It's okay. I'll hold together just for this cast. So, should I ignore it or should I delete it? We may have a vote in the chat. Who's for? Who's against? So, did he make the thread twice? Oh, I hope he did. Oh, he did. It's two. It's just rubbing double salt into the wound now. Peds. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. I think that there needs to be a report. All right, I'm going to go on this guy's... I've had enough. I've had enough of this. I'm going on this guy's account, on his profile, I think, if I can get on it. All right, report. Where is it? Adfo. Definitely. I think I need to go there. You know, I could send him a strongly worded... I could send him a strongly worded private message, but he's gone too far. I think I need to add him as a foe. And I need to find where's the report. I think this is a report level incident, definitely. So yeah, for sure, faux show. One threads for Doom, the other seconds for Spoon. Thank you, Yub. He is a vandal. He's a vandal and a savage. So. Adding a foe means you can't see their post. Oh, does it? Oh, well. Funnily enough, it was the other day. I was looking at the forum and I was thinking, oh, what does the foe thing do? So it just totally ignores their post, does it? Does that explain why people never reply to me? No, I'm only joking. Obviously, I'm only joking. I don't want to offend anyone. Plenty of people reply, so I'm happy about that. Right. So, oh, somebody actually replied. Are you kidding? This is totally off topic now. Somebody has as well. I don't even know who Lewis D is. What is going on? Okay. Dear me. I'm insulted that this person has no idea who I am. I've never had any form of communication with him. And he seems to just agree. Okay. He's just accepted that I smell. Yes, he's a sex pest, is he? Who? This Lewis D or this goddamn Peds? Because I wouldn't be surprised if this Peds character is a sex pest at all. He's a sex pest for Strokomon, I know that much. He loves a bit of Dickachu. Absolutely loves it. I'm sure he does. So there was some odd noises coming from the stream the last time I started talking about it. You know, there was almost like a moaning, and a slapping of skin on something. I don't know what it was, but it was getting quite vigorous. But hey, I'm not kink shaming anyone. So, thank you, Cricken. Yes, Doom smells nice. Thank you. So, Jeff, that was you, was it? Just couldn't contain it. The second that I was describing exactly what I was watching, which was pretty bad. You couldn't contain yourself. That is it. Say Lewis. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'll let. Peds is the vandal. Oh, I'm increasing sizes now. What the hell am I doing? Get down. Get back. There we go. I'll let Peds do that one. That should be. Oh, there's a reply to this one. Oh, great. Lewis D is a sex pest. Oh dear. This is. I'm not gonna lie. This is slightly derailed my thought process, but that's okay. It's eating time, and I'm happy for it to eat some more time. It can eat all the time it wants because there's a nasty subject that needs to be talked about, but we're having a good time at the moment. I don't want to. What's the word? I don't want to bring down the current mood, which is quite nice. So, but time is nice on pork. Yeah. It's rosemary, Pez. Just as a bit of cooking advice there, it's rosemary. Actually, rosemary's very good on lamb, and thyme's very good on potatoes. So rosemary and thyme, fresh sprigs, over some new potatoes, bit of oil, drizzle some oil, salt, pepper. No pepper, just a little bit of salt. Bung them in the oven for half an hour or so. They're lovely, absolutely lovely. So there you go, cooking with Doom. There we go. If we're ever in a pinch, I'll put a webcam on. I can put my webcam on now. I just take you into the kitchen and we go do some cooking together. I don't know what I'm gonna make at 25 to 12 at night, but I'll find something to make. Do it. You know what? I have most of the ingredients to make a lasagna, I think, as well. I'm not even kidding. So, shall I? What I should do is take the laptop on the road with me, go somewhere and do a food review. Now, shouldn't I? Put the webcam on, start talking into. Oh, don't you're getting me? You're giving me ideas now. Shouldn't be exclusive now. Yeah, this is where I suddenly come out now and announce Cooking Mama Switch. So sponsored by Doom Cooking, I guess. Yes. Yeah, if I'm ever in a pinch. To be fair, if I'm ever in a pinch, I can turn my webcam on and just face it towards Pepsi, who's currently asleep next to me. In you go. Oh, you're not asleep. I've just disturbed you. I'm so sorry. I know. I am one big meanie, aren't I? Oh, I know. I have a stretch. So yeah. Sponsored by GRcade. Cooking Mama Switch. Refresh. Are you telling me to refresh the thread? What is going on? Oh, more people are getting involved now. Is this getting out of hand? I like it. Maybe is a movement. We should start a movement now. This thread is for telling you who you think smells nice. It's just that is it. You have no other conversation. Just random. Just Cricken smells nice. Ped smells. Full stop. Yube smells nice. And just it's not gaming related at all. There's a point. Could I technically report Peds, this absolute savage, because he's posting in the wrong side? This isn't gaming related. This is stuff, surely. This is the and stuff bit. Surely this is a report post incident, and get this Peds character banned off the forum for malicious intent. So yeah, but it's in the. He's talking about the king. Is that how we get around it? Is it? we claim that it's about the game, and then it spirals off into telling other members of the forum that they smell fairly pleasant. I just realised, Cricken, are you insulted by that? That he's. Well, are you insulted / freaked out? I assume if you've never met Jeff, if he knows you smell fairly pleasant, that's a pretty accurate description, which meant he's had to get close enough to you to smell you. So, yes, so you're going along the same lines as me here. So, Jeff is Cricken's friend's brother. Yes, so if I was you, Cricken, I'd be very, very wary. I'd be sleeping with one eye open for a little while just to see, just to watch your back. You'll be waking up with a pair of nostrils near you, sniffing you. Refresh. Basically, shall I just sit here and refresh the page every 2 minutes and just commentate on what's been? Bloody hell. Okay. I've often wondered what Doom Guy would smell after a mission in hell. Yeah, probably. Ironically, it'd probably smell like hell as well. Doom's smells of raw animal magnetism. Is that the game, Jeff, or were you on about the member? Oh, he has met Cricken. Okay, fair enough. So at least there is. Although you never smelt him, though. Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure that when Cricken didn't turn around, you had a little sniff? Because fairly pleasant is I say an accurate description. It's descriptive enough to make me think that it's more than just plucking something out of thin air. The title's also different. Why? Have you changed the title? I like games and Doom smells. Is this how we keep it in the game section? You refer to the fact that you like games and Doom smells. I like this. Crick in the game. He snipped Cricken's bedsheets. Oh dear. This is going down a rabbit hole I was not expecting it to. I'm not going to lie. Oh, we've had more. Maybe I should just refresh it even more. Let's see what's going on. I hate games, but like Doom smells. Are you saying that you like the way Doom smells, or but like Doom smells? You're just agreeing with the second part, is it? So yes, this is turning into a conversation that I wasn't expecting to have with anybody. Never mind you guys. While we're here, let's have a quick look. Sorry for the journal. Honestly, you've given us an extra 20 minutes of content, so I'm not gonna lie, it was a good move. So even when you're out of action, Peds, you're still providing support, and for that I thank you. So let's before I get into the not so pleasant subject, let's just have a little look on the forum, see if there's anything interesting to talk about while we're here. Obviously, Fortnite's gone. We've talked about that. I think I made about 5 posts, 3 of which have been made in this thread. Oh, there you go. Anything here that we're liking the look of, that we can pick apart? No, not by the looks of it. Ooh, let's see. Let's check Peds's. I want to see what who made the votes this time. Ah, it's let's have a look. Perfect Dark. Oh no, where's the? Who voted this time, Peds? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. See. Super Dragon 64. Okay, so for anyone who's interested, a little update for Retro Monday. The poll is up, and we have GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, or Mario Kart 64. Pretty good mix. Going for obviously some well, I guess makes sense with the name of the 64 in his name, but which one should I go for? I am going for, I'm gonna vote. I'm making a public announcement. I'm publicly announcing I'm voting for Perfect Dark, which is taking it up to 50%. So I'm happy with that. It's the game. I actually own a copy. I've got the cartridge upstairs. I've never actually played Perfect Dark. I've played a lot of GoldenEye, played a lot of 64, but Perfect Dark, I haven't played. I've got the cartridge, I've got my N64, I've just never got around to playing it. I do plan to get one of those adapters, the HDMI adapter that's been released by the same company who does the GameCube ones, the GCHDs. I think it's called the Super 64 or something like that. Plan to get one of those at some point, and the idea, I guess, is that I'm gonna. Well, I talked about it in a previous stream. Jeff just voted. Let's have a look. What's that done for the 3-all? Oh, it's keeping it even. Yeah, I was talking, funny enough, in my stream the other day that I'll get that so I can hook up my N64 to the capture card, and then I'm going to do an old school wrestling game stream. Maybe I'll do it on the GRcade site. If that's something you might want to refresh once more. Oh, okay. Oh, GoldenEye's taking the lead. Absolutely shocking. This is unacceptable. I personally, I want Perfect Dark. I won't be happy. Come on, guys. You want to. Please vote. I want to see some Perfect Dark. I don't have time to play it myself. I need to watch someone else play. GoldenEye for the culture. Yeah. So, as I was saying, I got derailed then again. yeah, I plan to do a old school wrestling game. So I'll hey, there we go, keeping it going. So I'll be getting. So I got No Mercy. I'll get the WCW games, and be having old school wrestling night. I think that will be the plan at some point. Maybe on GRcade, maybe on mine. I don't know. So I'm gonna have to start thinking about, when I say wrapping up, not necessarily like, I don't want everyone to shut off now because I'm not wrapping up yet. But I kind of feel like I've got to the stage where I've got to think about the time, plus obviously time. I've got to be up early in the morning, but crucially, I've got to make time to wrapping up your things for the McDonald's trip. Yes, that would be an interesting one. Also, although my wife who's in work doing a night shift now, she would kill me if she found out I went to McDonald's without her. I could go for a McDonald's right now. I'm not gonna lie. I could go for one, and I am going to the gym in the morning, so you know I could reason it, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna be good. McDonald's is literally around the corner as well. That is the worst thing. The worst thing, I've got a McDonald's around the corner, and I got a brand new dessert place that's just opened up, and it does delivery. And it's literally around, like 2 seconds around the corner. I'm like, oh, that is, it's hard. It's hard sometimes. Anyway, yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. McDonald's. I'm going to the gym. Surely that means more McDonald's. Although, should I tell you what? When I go to the gym, I always go early. So I'll be at the gym by 5:30 tomorrow morning. I'll be done by 7ish, 7:15, something like that. The trouble is, I have to drive past a McDonald's on the way home, and I'm so tempted to be like, oh, I'll go and have a breakfast, go and have a McDonald's breakfast every time. It's just can't fault it. It's the place. Can't fault the breakfast there. Completely. I could tell I'm getting tired because I completely forgot what I was saying. I just stopped and ended up repeating myself then. Anyway, right, so guys, before we wrap up, I want to quickly take an opportunity just to say we are going down a political rabbit hole, potentially. We're not going to spend ages talking about it. But I do want to cover it. I want to bring some light on it. If anyone's got opinions, please share. But obviously, before we get into this subject, I know you guys are sensible. But I'm just making a public service and a PSA. We're going political now with the last subject to talk about. By all means, I want people to share their opinions. If they got thoughts on it, please share. It'll do me a massive favor. It will allow me to kind of interact with you guys more and keep the conversation going a bit more. But obviously, if everyone can just understand that we all might have different opinions and we might agree with them or we might not, and as long as no arguments kick off, I think we'll be okay. I understand everyone here is sensible, and I know that, but it's just one of those things. I've got to say it before we go in, because you never know. You just never know who might be listening. They haven't said anything, and then this is their opportunity to spring. So if we can all keep it respectful in the chat and just understand that if somebody has an opinion that you don't agree with, that's totally fine. As long as everyone respects those opinions, I'm sure we can all get along and all have a cuddle. So, as some of you may or may not know, this is where I'm going to have to refer to Twitter, to the actual thing here. So, yeah, as some of you may or may not know, there's been a fair amount, that's to put it lightly, a fair amount of political stress between China and Hong Kong. I'm not ultra clued up. I've obviously picked up bits and bobs while on the news and etc. So there's I think I'm pretty sure it's to do with an independence thing, or it's something along those lines. Anyway, it's obviously causing a lot of stress and a lot of anger for the people of Hong Kong, and it's obviously causing things to get a little bit violent down there. Anyway, so this then came out. When was this? Oh, there's no date on it. That's annoying. Really hoping there would be one. Let's have a look. October 7th, so a few days ago. Yeah. So Blizzard. So here we go. The headlines there. Blizzard have removed a Hong Kong Hearthstone player, Blitz Chung, from Hearthstone Grandmasters, rescinding all of his prize money and suspended him from pro play for 1 year for his recent interview. I'm not going to read the whole statement out, but this is basically the statement that Blizzard have announced to support their action for banning him. So basically, I'm boiling it down. I'm trying to make it a little bit bite-sized. Blitz Chung, in an interview, ended up, I don't want to use the word chanting, that's the wrong word, but ended up exclamating, "Free Hong Kong," was it? Was it "Free Hong Kong" he said? "Liberate Hong Kong," sorry. "Revolution of our age," during an interview. This obviously has angered. Well, here's the thing. This is where it gets a little bit political. Let's have a look. You should read it out. How are listeners going to know about what's being shown? Well, if you want me to read the whole statement, I will. But I'm trying to make this a bite-sized thing, something that we can kind of talk about without getting too bogged down by it. I understand. I know you jest about it. Although I do like the chat has gone dead silent. The fact that I started talking about this. Yeah, exactly. Like, this guy said this, and Blizzard have come out, and obviously Blizzard are going, well, you represent us because you're one of our players in our Grandmasters tournament. We're not happy with this situation, but yeah. So Blizzard have, well, as I've said, they've suspended him. They've taken the fact that they've gone to such extent that this is what I don't get is obviously they've got competition rules here, and it says engaging in. I will say what the rules are of the section that they've quoted that he's breaking. Engaging in any act that in Blizzard's sole discretion. Sole discretion brings you into public disrepute, offends a portion or group of the public, or otherwise damages Blizzard's image, will result in removal of the Grandmasters and of the Grandmasters and reduction of players' prize total to $0 USD. In addition to other remedies which may be provided for under the handbook and Blizzard's web terms. Sorry if that was so disjointed. It took me a while to kind of get through that myself. Yeah, so this guy said something. Blizzard have gone, well, that's going to hurt our image because you're in the competition. So we're coming down on you big time. Is it? I mean, here's the thing. I've got my opinions on it. They're not controversial. Well, I don't class them as controversial. But the way I see it is, there's a few ways of looking at this. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out the best way to talk about this. So, yeah, like at the end of the day, what it does do though. Is I think Youb's right. Youb said it doesn't hurt their image. It doesn't hurt their image unless you're Chinese. Yeah, that's the thing. Is so basically what Blizzard is saying is, as Youb said, it doesn't. In fact, the rest of the world would kind of back them if they were behind this player and they didn't do this, then they would be behind them. Here's the thing. They're backing, as Peds has said, they're backing the country that's doing the oppressing. And I agree. Um, the 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 issue here is Blizzard. When I say I don't want to make accusations, I'm sure they're not going to get back to Blizzard, and I don't fucking work for them, so it doesn't matter anyway. The problem is China is the single biggest market for mobile gaming. It's the single biggest by a massive margin. Everybody in China mobile games. It's the thing to do. That's why Nintendo was so hell-bent on getting into China, because that's why you see a lot of these mobile games that are being ported over to the Switch. They're just genuine mobile games that are being ported. It's because they're desperate, like every company is. They're desperate to get into China because of the market being so big. I off the top of my head, I can't remember how many people are in China. 2 billion? Is it something like that? 1 point something billion, 2 billion, what is it? And it's massive. It's the single biggest market for mobile gaming. Hearthstone being a mobile game, you know, they've looked at this and they've said for themselves, where does the damage, what would damage us more? Siding with the player who is of, you know, who's trying to express his enthusiasm for Hong Kong, and let's be fair, the rest of the world are kind of behind Hong Kong right now, you know, I assume, and have the rest of the world kind of, you know, pat us on the back and say, well done, you're supporting this player? Or do we side with the country which is responsible for a huge portion, a massive portion of our money making in mobile games? And sadly, it looks like, well, no, it doesn't look like, they have backed them. Yeah, there you go. Peds has just said the reason why is because they get about $1 billion a year from China. That's just China. That's, you know, if Blizzard weren't seeing, and that's the thing, is how much do you want to bet? And I almost can, so far, exactly, the year's not up yet. And here's the thing. How much do you want to bet this guy come out, said what he said, Viva la Revolution type thing? I wouldn't mind betting that within seconds of that interview going out, you had Chinese officials. I'll finish what I'm saying and I'll get into what you've just said then. Sorry, I distracted myself. You've got, I wouldn't be surprised if Chinese officials were straight on the phone to Blizzard and basically said to them, if you, and I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not saying this is what did happen. I'm saying this is what I wouldn't be surprised at. I can kind of see them kind of going, look, if you don't make an example of him, of this guy, and you come down hard on him, we will freeze you out of the country. You will not have access to our market in the mobile gaming thing. And sadly, Blizzard have gone, shit. We, you know, as Ped said, we're at $1 billion and we're not done yet. Do you know what I mean? It's, I could see it, you know. That I'm sure that's basically what's happened. You've said here to the general Chinese consumer, then, are Hong Kong the villains of this story? Well, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, but it's the story that's been fed to them by their government, I guess. You know, let's be fair. China isn't the most straight and narrow of. Sorry, there we go. China isn't the most straight and narrow of countries when it comes to you know, well, we're back. Hey. Let's 50 people. There we are. Oh, that was annoying. Let's make sure the stream is working. I've just got it up on the second screen. Is it working for everyone? Looks, well, it's working on my end, so I assume it's working for everyone again. Yes, awesome, cool. Anyway, yes. So, where did we get to? I've completely lost. Yeah, as I was saying, you know, at the end of the day, the Chinese people are you know, they're going to believe whatever is fed to them, and what you got to remember with China is very government regulated what information gets fed to the public. So yes, at the end of the day, there's going to be propaganda that's going to suggest to them that Hong Kong are in the wrong for doing what they're doing, when I think everybody else from the outside is looking in and going, yeah, I think we're with Hong Kong here, type thing. But yeah, and that's the issue is Blizzard know, and I'm not saying they're doing the right thing, because they are not. I totally disagree. I do not condone their behaviour at all. It's disgraceful, really. You know, you got someone who is fighting for their country, essentially, you know, and this is how they get treated. But at the end, as we said earlier, what is the one way you hurt a company? You know, what is the one way? Hurt them in the wallet. They get their shareholders to turn against them. That is the one way you do it. And if China turns around and says, well, we're a large chunk of your revenue. If we turn around, if you don't do what we say, we boycott you. So one, you're not getting our revenue anymore, because we'll kick you out of China. And two, we will, you know, at the end of the day, like I said, a lot of their information is drip fed to their public anyway. We'll just turn it on them. We'll turn the people against you, which will hurt them even more. You know, at the end of the day, I get it, but I don't agree with it. You know, I still think they're in the wrong personally, but let's be fair, they must make plenty of other money, not just China. But when your biggest source of money turns around and goes, no, you better do what we do, otherwise, what we say, otherwise we're gonna turn that revenue stream against you. It's, yeah, Yoube's correct here. It's the smart thing versus the right thing. At the end of the day, the smart thing, Blizzard did the smart thing, which is they protected their revenue. And you could argue that you could argue that without that $1 billion a year, or whatever it will be at the end of the year, without that coming in from China, would that then affect? How would that affect the company? Would it result in losses of jobs? Obviously, for them, it'd be a literal loss of money. But you know, if you look deeper into that, would it mean loss of jobs? You know, Peds. I think Peds is on the right thing here. You know, how many people would it genuinely affect? Would it mostly be the executives, and they would see large pay cuts, and maybe that's why they're reacting like they have? I don't know. But yeah, it's definitely it's the smart thing versus the moral thing at the end of the day. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not particularly personally. I'm not particularly comfortable talking about this subject. It's not a nice subject to talk about. It's not something I'm enjoying talking about right now, but it's something that has to be brought up. Hence why I feel like it has to be brought up, and I hope the people in chat agree with me. But you know, this is why I'm kind of struggling. If you feel like I'm kind of stuttering and struggling for words, it's because everything about me is saying it's wrong. I could try and word the word wrong in different ways, but it's wrong. It's immoral. It's not. You know, I get they're trying to protect their assets. I get that, but you know, it is. You know, and the question is, okay, Hearthstone is a large it's a large portion of their their revenue from China. But if you look at the bigger picture, if you look at World of Warcraft, Overwatch, all the other games they got going for them, I say all, but you know what I mean. Is the world going to? I say is the world going to turn against them? That sounds really extreme, but could it backfire? Could other people start boycotting them? People start unsubscribing from WoW. People not buy, like, they've made plenty of money from Overwatch, but it's just about to come out on the Switch. Are people going to boycott that and not buy that? And that's going to hurt. Are they going to get hurt in the wallet a different way? That's what I'm asking. Honestly, it's hard. I'm a big fan of WoW. I haven't played it for a little while because I haven't had the ability to. But honestly, with this as something, I would feel I would definitely, even now, like I'm not even subbed to them for WoW, but I would definitely have the urge to unsubscribe to make a point. But people are unsubbing. I think they say it's, at the moment it's something like 7 to 10 million people active subscribers on World of Warcraft. That's big. If it would take a lot of them would have to unsubscribe to really hurt them. I don't think they'd be bothered about Overwatch and losing too much, not getting too many sales on the Switch, because they've already made their money on Overwatch. I think that's that. But WoW is where it could hurt them, and that's the thing. Blizzard have obviously waded up and they've gone, look, we're going to hurt everyone else and take a loss, or we can hurt China and take an even bigger loss. And sadly, obviously they've backed China. So anyway, Yoop says they shouldn't be hurting the wallet for the sake of balance. No, they shouldn't. Oh, they should be. Sorry, I understand. They should be hurt in the wallet for the sake of balance. They should be, and I hope they are. As I said, if I was subscribed to WoW, I would end up unsubbing out of protest, and I hope people do that, and I hope that makes them realise that they're just straight up in the wrong. As I said, I don't know how many ways I can word the word wrong, but they are just in the wrong. Peds has said people are turning against them. There's a tweet with a link to send to GDPR thing where you can email them for info, which is supposedly costing a ton of time to deal with per request, and if they do not reply, you can face legal action. Yeah, so I mean, so like, I don't want to say Blizzard are not prepared for the backlash the rest of the world are going to give them, but maybe they're not ready for it. Maybe they don't realise how strongly. I mean, they'd be stupid surely to think this, but to not think this. But maybe they do. Maybe they don't think that other people, like the rest of the world, was going to care like they do. And if that is the case, then they're even bigger wankers for thinking that. But yes, at the end of the day, the way you hurt them is in the wallet, and I hope it does. And would it? The problem is they've shown their hand now. Do you think Blizzard are in a position to turn back and say, actually, no, we're going to reinstate Blitzchung? Or do you think that's it? They've dug their grave. They've got to lay in it now. Also, in general, obviously, you've shared opinions on it. Is there anything you'd like to add to the story, to anything, your feelings, personal feelings, whatever it is? Is there anything you'd like to add to this? Because, as I said, this is not something I want to talk too much into. So if people, if we start looking at wrapping this up, that's fine. If anyone would like to add anything to this, then I'm perfectly happy for people to do that. Jeff, they've dug their Hearthstone. I like it, but yes, they have. At the end of the day, they've made their grave. They've got to lay in it now. And I hope they get hurt. What I also hope is Blitzchung gets reimbursed by someone. It's obviously not going to be Blizzard. They're not going to give him the money. But I hope somebody comes out and goes, you know what? For the money that you've lost, for standing up for a cause that you believe in, you're trying to, you want your country to be free, then I hope he's supported financially. I hope somebody takes that and helps him out. And I'm sure people have. I can only imagine that people have helped him out. So Peds said maybe they thought people would have paid attention. Thought people would have paid attention when you have the UK completely fucking itself, because now the United Kingdom of racist. See you next Tuesdays. And the US is my fucking orange? Okay. Being a dodgy moron. There's a few bit colourful. I'll leave some of those out just in case, but I'm pretty sure we know where we're going with that next. But yeah, I surely the thing I don't get is surely Activision Blizzard. Surely Blizzard were fully aware of the backlash this was going to get, and if they weren't, they're idiots. They're even bigger knobs for being that way. Cricken said they come out to say it had nothing to do with China yesterday. I think they've committed to doubling down on it. That's the thing is I'm sure everyone's in the same boat. I don't believe for 1 minute, not for 1 minute, that China didn't have something to do with this. I guarantee an official was on the phone as soon as it happened, basically saying to Blizzard, you've got two options. You either don't do anything about it and we freeze you out, or you do something about it and that's that, and we'll back you up, and I just, I just won't believe it. I have absolutely don't believe that whatsoever, that China have nothing to do with it. Yuba said nothing about this makes you lol. Yeah. Oh wait, that's Riot. Yeah, exactly. I think China has shares in Blizzard. And are you asking me, did I read the statement in China? I haven't, no. Yeah, well, exactly. I haven't read it, but I can imagine the position. As I said, at the end of the day, they're making an enemy of this guy. And as you said earlier, at the end of the day, they're going to push this now on the Chinese public and twist it. And this is how it's going to be. This is how they're going to portray this guy. As I said, he's fighting for his cause. He's fighting for his country. At the end of the day, you can't blame him. He's trying to do something, and he's in a position. Let's say of power. He's in a position of influence, and I can see why he wanted to use that influence to raise awareness for the cause. And at the end of the day, he's been. It's the fact that all right, he's lost his place in the tournament. He's been suspended for a year. The fact that they've taken all of his current prize money off him as well is like, I don't know Blitz Chung's position, but maybe he's got a family he's got to feed, and that money that's his family's money, and that's his job. And they've literally gone, no, we're taking all your money from you. Whatever you made this year or this tournament, no, it's all gone. That's low. All right, if you kick him out of the tournament for it, well, that's one thing. But I don't want to make this sound more dramatic than it is. But you're taking food out of his. If he's got kids, I'm saying, you're taking food out of their mouths. If he's the prime, which I would assume he's probably the primary earner of the household, and it's one thing to hurt him or kick him out of a tournament. It's another thing to affect his family life, his kids, if he's got any, his whatever, and that's what I don't like. Is it gets to me? This is low. This is the lowest of the low, and I'm sure you can tell by the way I'm saying this. Is I'm quite passionate about the fact that they're just wrong. I'm not going to keep saying it, but they are just wrong. Hey, Jazen, you picked. I really appreciate the. I appreciate the raid, I really do. But sadly, we're actually coming to the end of the cast. We're just talking, just before we go though, we are talking about as you can see, it's up on the screen here, talking about the incident with Blitzchung being kicked out of Blizzard, kicking him out, taking all his money off him, and doing all this. And the gist of it, of what we've kind of said, is China, I don't care what they say, they've had a part to play in that. They've said, I guarantee they have threatened Blizzard with, if you don't play our game and you don't back us up, we're freezing you out of the Chinese market. That's your $1 billion a year, your $1.2 billion a year gone. That's a large chunk of your money gone, and that's that. And obviously, as you stated earlier, it's Blizzard have to choose between doing the smart thing and the right thing, the moral thing, and sadly, they've chosen. I say sadly, they've chosen the smart thing. They have, and I personally think the long run, this could actually this could actually hurt them in the long run, because, like I said, if they have if they have a bit of an exodus now of people leaving WoW, for instance, surely that's going to hurt them more, because that's reoccurring revenue. Let's hypothetically say, because it's between 7 and 10 million, I think, active users. Let's just say, just to make it easy, they have 10 million active subscribers. So every month, and it's about a tenner a month now. So every month, without fail, they're bringing in. Owen Wilson will never say wow again. I like that. I appreciate that. Well done, Jeff. Pun of the night goes to Jeff. I'm just putting that one out there. He's derailed me. That pun was great. He's proper derailed me now. Yep, no, gone. Totally gone. All I can think is that pun now, and all I can hear now is Owen Wilson going wow in my head. He's absolutely done it. Anyway, try and get back on track. So yeah, sadly they've done the smart thing over the moral thing, and in the long run, I think this could affect them worse than accepting the fate that China would have given them. Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about, revenue. Sorry, I'm there, I'm switched on. So, hypothetically, let's just say, what is it, if there's 10 million subscribers, and they're all paying a tenner a month, if my maths is correct, that should be 100 million a year, a month. Big if, I'm aware of that, but 100 million, even if it's 7 million active subscribers, that's 70 million a month, say. It all depends how long you unsubscribe for. If half their, if a large chunk of their fan base never unsubscribes and never comes back to them, then yeah, it hurts them in the long run. But 70 million, like, I guess if you're Blizzard and you weigh it up and you say, well, even if everybody unsubscribed from WoW, which they're clearly not going to, we're going to lose, let's just say 700 million, $800 million a year. If we leave China, if we let China go, we're losing $1.2 billion a year. Again, you can see why they chose the smart option. I'm not saying it's good. I totally disagree with it. I think they're absolute knobs, and I think they've taken it too far, but, that's my opinion. But you can see why they've done it. They've weighed up the options, and at the end of the day, if China is their largest source of income, which it probably is, sometimes you have to do what's right for business, and it's not always the favourable thing, is it? Let's be fair. So, new players come, people forget and come back, exactly, and that's the thing, is Blizzard know full well that they're not going to sustain that much damage, that it's going to affect them that badly. And like they said, at the end of the day, they've secured China. by doing what they have done, and to them they've secured their fate, if you want to call it that, I guess. So yeah. Anyway, has anyone before we wrap up? Has anyone got any opinions, any feelings, anything they would like to share regarding this subject? Anything at all? As I said, as long as we can all keep it sensible, you know, and let's respect everyone's opinion. I'm more than happy for people to post their opinions on this up here. But everyone, please remember, we all have our own opinions, and we've got to accept that they are opinions, and you might not like them, but you've just got to take them for as they are. This is a forum for people to talk. So. Pedro said, I think doing some off shit is bad. What they've done is wrong as fuck, and they literally supporting the oppression of the country. They are, and that's the thing is, people, and you're right, Peds, people have died for this. You know, people are making martyrs of themselves. The people of Hong, a lot of people, but the people of Hong Kong are making martyrs of themselves to fight this cause. And people are losing their lives over this, and like you said, Blizzard are supporting that. And what do you say? What do you do? You know, you can't. It's for me, honestly, it's incomprehensible. It's incomprehensible that you could do that. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. Does anyone have anything else they would like to share? I wonder if the guy with Blizzard Sig has removed it. That'd be an interesting one. This is the only way anyone can take the heat off EA and Bethesda, and Blizzard managed it. Yeah, to be fair, Blizzard have done it in they've done it in magnificent fashion. If you're gonna cause a stink, holy hell, they've caused a stink. You know, he hasn't even commented it. Yeah, I mean, for the chat now, as you know, we know they're never going to go back on this decision unless China. The only reason why Blizzard would go back on this and reinstate him and give him his money back or whatever they were going to do would be if China say, "Oh look, all right, he's learned his lesson. You can reinstate him. You can give him his money back." But they're never going to do that. You know, they love making enemies of these people who kind of are against them, especially in the situation that it's never going to happen. But anyway, so after this now, with the way Blizzard has treated Blitzchung, and as Ped said, the fact that they've kind of come out and they're supporting the oppression of the country, they're I don't want to say they're supporting the deaths of the people, but you know, for dramatic effect, that's kind of what they're doing. Would you now play or buy any future Blizzard games? Or if you are subscribed to WoW, would you unsubscribe to WoW? If you're currently playing a game, Overwatch, Diablo 3, WoW, whatever. Oh, I've just mentioned WoW, but you see what I mean. Would this is for the chat now? Would you guys? How many of you would go? You know what? No, I don't agree with this. I'm unsubbing. I'm uninstalling. I'm doing whatever. I'm pretty sure someone on GRcade lives in Hong Kong, and we're saying that students of his there are getting killed. Yeah, I know. People, it's the riots and that. It's crazy. I think the only one I played was Overwatch, but I haven't played in years. It's cool. Thanks, Cricken. Peds. Yeah, you know. So the guy on the forum, his missus is scared to leave the house, and I'm not surprised. I'm actually not surprised. But yeah, so for the chat, has this affected your future purchases for anything Blizzard related? So Jeff says he doesn't really play any Blizzard games. That's fair enough. You know, I love Diablo 3, and I was considering getting it for the Switch, but I can't support that now. It's you know, again, WoW. I was thinking about getting back into WoW. I can't. can't, and I'm sorry to say, but it's gonna have to be permanent. I can't, because unless they turn it around, you can't. Like, this is one of these things that if you protest against it, you can't come back in 6 months and go, oh, I'll start playing their stuff, I'll start buying their stuff, because they're not going to change their stance, and then you're saying that you're supporting them by almost saying you support. Like, I know that's a bit extreme, but you understand where I'm coming from. People are getting 1,000-year bans on Blizzard forums for discussing the Hong Kong. Exactly. Like, as you can imagine, like, Blizzard don't want anything Hong Kong related on their forums, and China are going to watch them like a hawk. That's what we're going to remember. China are going to monitor. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Chinese government are monitoring their forums, and anything that they don't like, they just go, oh, Blizzard, do me a favor, ban that guy, ban that guy, ban that guy. So wouldn't surprise me. So Yuba said, if I was invested in any of their games, I'd like to think I could tear myself away from them over this. Yeah, and it would be hard at the end of the day. I know someone who's put like 400 hours into Diablo 3. You know, are they gonna leave? Well, that's up to them if they quit playing the game out of support. I got, personally, it will. I mean, I haven't played World of Warcraft for a while, but I've got well over 1,000 hours in World of Warcraft. Don't mean nothing. I can't support a company that supports this, Let's have a look. Yuba said, Cricket, sorry, I'm trying to catch up. Cricket said, if there's a new Blizzard game, I would be interested, and I'll give it a miss. Yeah, that's cool, I get that. Yuba said, but honestly, if WoW got its hooks into me, yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is some of these games are awfully addictive, and it's not so simple. It isn't as simple as just going around not playing that anymore, because either you've invested incredible amounts of time, or you're just hooked, absolutely hooked on it, and it'd be like going cold turkey on cigarettes or drugs if you're addicted to that, or drinking. It's not so simple. I do totally understand that, but I've had the WoW hooks into me for a while, so that's why I can say that now. If they were in me, could I say it? I would like to say yes. In practice, well, time would tell, I guess. Yeah, they sacked the commentators as well. It's nuts, absolutely nuts. Cricket has said here, I could get Diablo pre-owned, so we don't give Blizzard any money. There is that, I guess, but for me personally, even by playing a Blizzard game, I would feel like I'm accepting what they're doing. It's like, for instance, maybe it's different, maybe it's not, I don't know, but if any of you are familiar with the band Lost Prophets, Welsh new metal band, pioneers along with Linkin Park in the new metal scene back in the early 2000s, had the potential to become massive, and growing up I was a massive fan, huge fan. That kind of shaped a lot of my childhood, along with Linkin Park, Papa Roach, etc. Obviously a few years ago their lead singer Ian Watkins was done for some very, very serious paedophilic offences, whatever. He was a paedophile, straight up. He's currently serving time in jail as a result. From that point onwards, I've refused to even, like, when I say own the albums, like, I do actually have the albums somewhere. I own the albums. I'm not giving them any more money by listening to those songs, but out of principle, I refused, and it's a shame because their first two albums were a massive part of my childhood, and I'd love to listen to them again, but I refuse to, out of the principle. And I kind of feel like that's the same thing for Diablo. If I was to buy Diablo pre-owned, yes, I'm not giving them money, but I'm still being seen with their product, and I don't want to be seen with their product. For me, I feel dirty by doing it. Honestly, I do. Yep, Head said he'd rather play Final Fantasy What's that? 14? Oh, so sorry. Final Fantasy 14 than WoW. Yeah, there we are. Great. Cricken would rather play RuneScape. Perfect. And yeah, Peds is saying he prefers Final Fantasy 14 solo, which you didn't with WoW. That's cool. Yeah, I get that, Crick, and it is a bit different because you're listening to the guy singing and you know that's the guy who's done it. It is a bit different, but in terms of the principle, for me, it's the same in terms of I don't want to be seen being associated with that as a result. Do you get what I mean? Let's have a look. They are from Ponty. They are from Ponty, right there. Peds also prefers Strokomon solo. Yeah, he does. He loves a solo Strokomon session. Peds has said, what if they replace the singer? Alright. If they replace the singer, yeah, I'd do that. Because at the end of the day, the rest of the band aren't at fault. I don't blame the band. Like, the rest of the band aren't at fault. If they change the singer and they were producing. Here's the thing: if they replaced the singer and they were producing music similar to what they were playing back in the early 2000s, then yes, I would probably start listening to them again. But that's because Ian has nothing to do with the band anymore, and that the rest of the band didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, and honestly, they'd end up changing the band name anyway. So again, you know, I would support that because they're cutting their ties with the link, and that they can, as long as if they're producing good music, then great. You know, as long as it's not him, I'd support that. So, I'm so sorry. Oh dear. God, it's getting late. 12:30. Yeah, I say, got to be up in 4.5 hours, just under. So, yeah, lost profits, right? Peds, you've tied this in beautifully. Anyway, guys, are we getting another sleep cast? I'm attempting not to. I'm attempting not. Although, not that you can see him, but there's sleep cast going on with the cats. I've got the cat either side to me asleep still. One's asleep on my backpack, annoyingly, just casually just taking up the backpack, and the other one's just chilling next to me. Okay. Anyway, sleep to on my own. Anyway, yeah, I think we've done this topic. I don't think we need to keep talking about it. I'm kind of clicking away from it now. I think we've all said our piece, and I think we're all roughly on the same page. It's wrong. Oh, thanks for the tweet, Jeff. I just realised I'm gonna do that. There we go. Yes. So, has anyone got, before we go, anyone got any questions, any thoughts? Has anyone got any feedback for me? How they live tweet liking? There you go. There's a stream in itself. Has anyone got any feedback for me personally? Obviously, this is so thrown together. I've had no time to prepare, and I've just totally winged it. I apologise if I've stuttered, if I've kind of repeated myself about 6 million times, and I apologise if it's very disjointed. But you know, I've just simply attempted to maintain. I didn't want to lose out this week, so I've just attempted to maintain what we've got basically. So let's have a look. Have a quick look at the chat. Blizzard for life. Refresh the Doom page. The Doom page on GRcade. Why? What has been said? Doom smells with his nose. Quite the aromas in this thread. Having said that, it doesn't compare to the opening a new game piece. That's correct. The smell back in the day when opening a game. Oh, the smell of the manual was incredible. Reggie, so you hate Doom, fair enough. Okay, cool. Awesome. So, oh, Jasm has said, forgive me if we talked about it. Did you hear about new Stardew Valley update? I didn't. Jasm, I say take the stage. I'm the one talking, but please take the stage and I'll read out what you say. I didn't hear about this. I follow. Oh, what is this? What is going on? Streaming on X. Peds, are you asking me if I'm planning to stream again next week? Because if so, I will. I'll give it another crack. Let's have a look. What's it, concern day? There it is, concern day. Oh, okay, fair enough. He hasn't said anything. He usually posts things on Twitter, but I see Jasm's giving me a link. One second. Sorry, you're gonna see like possibly a never-ending stream thing here. You say divorce is incoming. You can technically, or you can already get divorced. In the game, you got to pay $50,000 or whatever it is. Thank you. So, Jasmine saying apparently adds stuff to do post-marriage among things. Oh, okay, let's have a look. Stardew Valley's everything. Oh, everything update. That is exciting. Hang on, before we go, hold your horses. We've got to talk about this. This is a nice thing to talk about. We'll add post-marriage life content. Getting married and having kids will no longer be. Wait, that was awfully loud then. I'm not gonna lie, I absolutely shit my pants then. My headphone was at full blast. I shit my pants. Ooh, okay, that has woken me up a bit. Ooh, that's like drinking like 16 coffees in one. Ooh, okay. Shush. Go away. That was me. Anyway. Right. Oh god, I genuinely shit my pants then. That was horrific. Whew. Anyway, what's being said? We need to go deeper. Murdering your wife and burying under the corn incoming. That would be quite sinister if that is the case. Yeah, the ad hurt me. Anyway, in the farming simulator RPG, Stardew Valley, there's not much you can do once you're married. I got married in the first, wasn't quite the first year. It was just over a year. It was about a year and a bit into the game. And I'm not being funny. I've had plenty to do. Maybe I don't understand that. Like getting married isn't the end of the game. Like. It's just not. There's so much more to do in the game. So I don't quite agree with that anyway. But anyway, for those looking for it, there's no end game content. Well, there's a lot of stuff you can do after that. I quite. Maybe it doesn't mean the end of the game, but the end of your life. Quite possibly. Either way, I don't like that first paragraph. I don't agree with it personally, but I'm a massive supporter of Stardew Valley. As we may have noticed, I basically sold the game for them, to be honest. So, anyway, the new 1.4 update does add some depth to post-marriage life. Some additions that I'm proud of. Oh, this is the thing. Very heartwarming for players. I wonder if they'll do anniversaries. That'd be good if they do anniversaries for things. I've been unofficially calling 1.4 the everything update because it touches pretty much every aspect of the game in some way or another. One of my major goals was to add in a lot of quality of life features and make the game more convenient and effortless to play. Also said patch 1.3, the update that specifically adds multiplayer to Stardew is also coming very close to being ready for the Xbox One. They've had problems getting it certified for Xbox, so that's why it's taking so long. Okay, as the indie game scene grows. Okay, so that's okay. So they're not talking about exactly what they're doing, and that's fine. But yeah, you know, I personally, let's get off that one. Let's go back to Twitter. As I said, I don't agree with that comment. It's not. There's loads to do. Getting married is a very, very small part of a very large jigsaw. I mean, the game is designed to be played as you want it. So if you want to consider getting married as the end of the game, fine. But you're missing out on, I would say, 90% of the rest of the game. Getting married is easy in the game. It's piss easy. It's doing all the other things. At the end of the day, I've had a successful farm. I had a successful strategy on my farm for making money for well over 2 years worth of the farm. But as anyone knows who watched the streams, I've done a total redesign of my farm, and I'm going to be growing new crops, and I'm almost giving myself a whole new challenge as a result of that. So there's loads to do. At the end of the day, I haven't even touched the skull caverns. I haven't 100%ed the game. I haven't caught any of the legendary fish. There's loads. I haven't befriended everybody. Like, most people in the village still don't know me, you know? Stuff like that. I'm happy that there's more content. Don't get me wrong. More content means more time I can spend on Stardew Valley. Perfect. But I just don't like the way that they're kind of saying, well, once you got married, there's nothing to do. That's crap. That's not what kind of game it is. You know? It's like saying, with Sea of Thieves, hitting Pirate Legends, that's it, the end of the game. It's not. That's not what the game is designed to be. You know? Anyway, sorry, my little rant is over. You can fuck the entire town. Yes, that is a stream. If I can bed the entire town, that will be a stream. That'll be a GRcade stream. Can do shag the town. That's where we'd go with that. So, Violence Street. Oh yeah, it's wrestling. That's some wrestling right there. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think they've been player progression, but again, you know, it'll be interesting to see. Splitting someone's face on with a skateboard. Yeah, it's as I said, it's wrestling. I'm sure if I refresh it, something else pops. There we go. Michael Sheen. There you go. You can have a look at Michael Sheen. Let's have a look. Doom waxing lyrical about Stardew Valley gives me life. Thanks, Jasmine. I appreciate that. I do, as you can tell, I've got a huge amount of love, passion, and time for Stardew Valley. It's the most wholesome game you can play. You know, I'm going to say it. For me, it's more wholesome than Animal Crossing. It's a beautiful game. It's beautifully designed. It's everything. It's a beautiful game, and I can't really say enough good things about it. Yeah, exactly. I haven't even married a legendary fish, so I can hardly say I've completed this game. Let's have a look. Barry is a pretty place. Yeah, can Doom shag the town. Yeah, I was going to say there's a fair few people here. But if we're talking about Stardew Valley, can Doom spoon the town? Oh, Jeff, you are on fire. I love it. Jeff wins. I've already said he wins because he made a great pun earlier, but he wins. I don't think anyone's going to compete with that. That is, how do I describe it? If we describe it for the way I did my last thing, that's we're almost getting to Michelin star levels of taste, Jeff. We're almost there. Almost there. That's tasty. That's real tasty pun work there. That's borderline. We're getting borderline Michelin star there, Jeff. So, congratulations. No sex in AC, exactly. Can't have kids. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. Yeah. I like what Cricket said. Animal Crossing is the most wholesome game that immediately puts you in debt. That is right. It is quite funny. But no, honestly, Stardew Valley is I'm going to say is the most wholesome game you can play. Full stop. Come fight me if you don't agree. Sorry, Peds. I've just seen. He said, I made a good joke about your daughter being named the Eternal Doomspoon. I know. I'm so sorry. I did see the message. I got distracted as I was reading through things. And I did not acknowledge. And I apologise wholly. It was a very good joke. And I feel like I did it absolutely no justice at all. And I paid no respect to your effort. And I do apologise for that. So 1v1 me. Yeah, let's go, bro. Let's go. So yeah, good news for Stardew Valley, definitely. I was going to say, Jeff, you've picked a good time to shoot off. I'm going to wrap this thing up now anyway. So unless there's any other comments that you want to share with me, any feedback, how you think the show went, any questions, please fire away. Yeah, I think everyone's going to bed. I think it's 1:45. I need to go to bed. I'm amazed. I got to thank all of you. It's fine, Cricken. Jeff, of course I will. We'll do a Twitch ceremony, Jeff. Me and you, okay? We'll do a civil partnership on Twitch. Well, thanks, you. I appreciate the comments. It is. Marry me and the game will end. Well, in that case, then I haven't married the legendary fish first. Got to get there first, and then Jeff, you're next in line. Yes. So again, guys, I really appreciate it. I'm amazed that I've been able to go on this long. Genuinely wasn't expecting it. I can thank you guys for that. You've been great. You've really put effort in. You've been real interactive. I've been able to talk to you guys, and that's what it's all about. Is I've been able to feed off you, and that's what this is about. So you guys get just as much props as you're giving me. So I really appreciate it. It's been a team effort, and I think as a community, we've done ourselves proud. Anyway, I'm going to end this stream now because I'm fucking shattered, and I got to be up in 4 hours and 12 minutes, and then I got to go to the gym. The gym. So yes. No, that's okay, Jasm. I appreciate it nevertheless. So, anyway, thank you all. Good night. I will see you all soon. Next week, if anyone, again, I will do this again. I've got more time to prepare now. If somebody doesn't join, I'm happy. I'll do it on my own. I'll be more prepared the next time. Anyway, guys, good night. It's been emotional. I'll see you all soon. Bye.